Karibu kwenye channel ya Dr. Mlelwa Lectures. Tunafundisha masomo ya sayansi, physics, chemistry, mathematics pamoja na biology kwa sylabus ya Tanzania na kwa O-level pamoja na advanced level. Dr. Mlelwa Lectures for your better NECTA EXAMS performance. Subscribe, share and like this video. Welcome back, friends. This is Dr. Mlelwa Lectures, and we are continuing the topic of nutrition as we are approaching the end. However, it is not somehow near. Kwa hiyo kwenye kipindi hichi tunaendelea na large intestine pamoja na water absorption, as we know that the large intestine is involved in the process of water absorption. That's one major function of the large intestine. That is one major function of the large intestine in the body. So, no digestion takes place in the large intestine or colon. Water drunk by human is absorbed by stomach. The large intestine is responsible for reabsorbing water from digestive secretions, gastric acid and intestinal juice, each producing 3 dm cube every day, and saliva, pancreatic juice and bile juice, each adding 1.5 dm cube. The total is about 10 dm cube. Now you see, gastric acid and intestinal juice, they produce 3 dm cube every day each. So 3 dm cube, 3 dm cube, we get 3 dm cube, and 3 dm cube, we get 6 dm cube. Then after that we have saliva, pancreatic and bile juice, each adding 1.5. 1.5 times 3 we get 1.5 times 3 we get 4.5. So taking 6 plus 4.5 we are getting 10.5. That's why they say the total is about 10 dm cube. About means it is around, because not every day you will produce 3 liters or 1.5. Sometimes it can fluctuate to above or below the normal level. Most of this volume is water, and most of the fluids, about 90%, and about 90%, and salt in the gut absorbed in the small intestine. Now the colon and the cecum remove about 90% of any of the remaining fluid. So some metabolic waste and inorganic substances such as calcium and iron in excess in the body are excreted in the large intestine. So they are taken from the blood then into the lumen of the large intestine, so as to be removed with the feces. Epithelial cells secrete mucus, which include the solidification of the induces the solidification of the undigested food remains known as feces. Kwa hiyo unakuta kwamba ni epithelial cells za large intestine ndio zina produce mucus. Ile mucus ina solidify mavi yanakuwa ni magumu. Now sometimes if the mucus is absent, or mucus imekuwa produced in excess, because sometimes in some of the disorders of the colon, maybe carcinoma, yani kama cancer ya colon ya utumbo, kwa cells zinakuwa nyingi, mucus inakuwa kubwa, na ishia mtu anakuwa anaharisha. Why? Because the amount of mucus exceeds. But also many symbiotic bacteria present in the large intestine synthesize amino acid and some vitamins, especially vitamin K, which absorbed into the bloodstream. So if you remember your classification, we say the bacteria, they are very important, not only because they are consecutives of the diseases, but they are very important because, as you can see, vitamin K cannot be synthesized by the body, but it can be synthesized by bacteria, and they produce some of the amino acids which cannot be synthesized by the body. No bacteria, no life. The waste of the digestion system, which become increasingly solidified as they are moved along the colon by peristalsis. It takes approximately 12 to 24 hours for materials to travel the lengths of the colon. If the lining of the colon is irritated, kama lining ya colon imekuwa irritated, yani kuna vidonda, by a viral or bacterial infection, for instance, less water than normal may be reabsorbed, inakuwa ni result kwenye diarrhea. Tukireabsorb maji kidogo kutoka kwenye food tunapata ni diarrhea. Lakini the opposite problem is constipation, kama more water imekuwa reabsorbed due to slow movement of food in the colon. The opposite problem, constipation, occurs when the feces move along the colon too slow. We shall see later, we shall discuss later at the end of this topic about these problems. Too much water is reabsorbed and the feces become compacted in constipation. The undigested material in feces include cellulose fibers. Although it provides no caloric value energy to humans, it helps to move food along the alimentary canal. So cellulose, they cannot be digested by human being, as we discussed in the in biochemistry, and we said why cellulose cannot be digested by human being. But they are very important in the movement of food within the alimentary canal. Now, the community of bacteria living on unabsorbed organic material in the human colon contributes about 1/3 of the dry weight of feces. As byproduct of their metabolism, many colon bacteria generate gases, including methane and hydrogen sulfide, the latter of which has offensive odor. These gases and indigested air are expelled through the anus. Kwa hiyo unakuta kwamba kuna hizi gas methane pamoja na hydrogen sulfide. Hizi pia zinakuwa produced na bacteria ambao wanaishi kwenye hiyo cecum, kwenye large intestine na cecum. Kwa hiyo hawa ndio wanaosababisha kinyesi kiwe kinanuka. Kama wasingekuwepo kinyesi kingekuwa hakinuki. So we are saying that in human, the appendix is a blind-ended pouch leading from the cecum and possesses no known function. It is, however, of great significance in herbivores. The appendix is termed as the vestige organ, that it has no function. However, it stores the dust materials or dust particles. It doesn't store in such, kwa sababu sio kwamba sisi tunahitaji mchanga. Sisi sio kuku mpaka tu tunafijisi. Human being, they do not need sand. Lakini sand sio kwamba inakuwa stored, lakini kule kama huwa inaangukia, yani as the food passes there, the sandy particles, they fold themselves out automatically into the appendix. So that's why it sometimes become full of sand, and then we need to cut it. So actually naweza nikasema kwamba wanasayansi wameshindwa kujua function ya appendix, lakini Mungu hakuumba kitu kisio na function. So I am just teaching according to science that it is the vestige organ, but yeah, I'm sure that it has the function. No organ which was made by God and has no function. That's why sometimes ukiremove appendix unapata shida. So why unapata shida? Because it has some of the function, but scientists, they don't know them. Even myself, I don't know them, because I am teaching according to scientists. Maybe if we become very near to God, then you will know the functions of these parts which scientists, they fail to know them. Now, it is, however, of great significance in herbivores. The back of the feces consists of dead bacteria, cellulose, and other plant fibers, dead epithelial cells, mucus, cholesterol, bile pigment derivatives, and water. So you can see the composition of feces. Now, the process of egestion. The terminal portion of the large intestine is the rectum. The rectum. I know some of people, they don't want to pronounce this word in Swahili because they believe it's not a good language. Kwa hiyo hata mimi sipendi kutamka kwa sababu kama tusi. So rectum, it is where the feces are stored until they can be eliminated. It is where the feces, they are stored for some time. Now feces can remain in the colon for 36 hours before being passed on the rectum, where they are staged briefly before egestion through the anus. Kwa unaweza kuona hapo kwamba mtu kila chakula kwenye stomach kitakaa hours. Unaona hiyo kwenye colon tu feces inaweza kukaa 36 hours. Hiyo ni kwenye colon. Baada hajafika kwenye rectum. Ukijumlisha masaa yote unaweza kugundua kwamba what you are going to defecate today, it was the food of 2 or 3 days ago. So between the rectum and the anus, there are two sphincters, and it's very important to understand about the functioning of these sphincters. The inner one is of smooth mouth, that is involuntary. So, and the outer one is voluntary. So the inner is under involuntary or autonomic nervous system, and the outer one is striated voluntary muscle controlled by the voluntary nervous system. Now periodically, strong contraction of the colon creates an urge to defecate. So because filling of the stomach triggers a reflex that increases the rate of contraction of the colon, the urge to defecate often follows a meal. Kwa unajikuta kwa nini kila ukishakula unataka kujisaidia? Kila unachoenda kujisaidia sio ambacho umekula muda ule. Lakini kwa sababu unavokula chakula kilijaza tumbo, the filling of the stomach, chakula kinapojaa, a reflex action is a impulse is sent to the brain, then from the brain response inakuja kuletwa, contraction ya colon iongezeke. Contraction ya colon ikiongezeka, mtu ana feel defecation, anakuwa anahitaji defecate. So somebody feels defecation often after meal, it is because of the reflex action due to the filling of the stomach, but not actually he goes to defecate what he eats that time. The semi-solid feces consists of small quantity of indigested food fibers and of and comprise the residual material from the bile juice and the other secretion. Cell slashed off the intestinal wall, a little water and large number of bacteria, as we said here in the part of the colon. Now the mucus produced by the large intestine lubricate the movement of feces and help to bind them together. After 24 to 36 hours in the large intestine, the feces pass to the rectum for the temporary storage before they are removed through the anus by the process known as defecation. So by the process known as defecation, it is how the feces are removed out. Now because much of the material making up the feces are not result of metabolic reaction in the body, the process is not regarded as excretion. If you don't understand about metabolic reactions, go and review my biochemistry lectures in the part of introduction to enzymes. I have explained about metabolism. But in short, metabolism is the total of all chemical reactions taking place in the body. So feces, it's not the product of metabolism, and by that means defecation is not an excretory process. However, some of the cholesterol and bile pigment they come from breakdown of hemoglobin, which is metabolism, that is metabolic waste product, but their concentration is very low. That's why the whole process of defecation is termed as not an excretory process. Thank you. Let I end up here. In the next session, we shall be talking about the nerves and the hormonal control of digestive secretions. This is one among the parts which most of teachers they want to ask in the exams. So stay tuned. And this is one among the parts which is very difficult to understand it. Stay tuned and prepare yourself with the next session. Subscribe to the channel and share the video. Thank you. Asante kwa kuangalia channel ya Dr. Mlelwa. Ninaamini umeelewa kipindi, na kama hujaelewa chochote waweza kucomment hapo chini. Click link ya kwenye description kujoin Telegram group kwa ajili ya discussion. Usisahau kusubscribe, kushare video kwa marafiki pamoja na kulike video hii.